Conditionals can be phrased in two ways. The real conditional can. So my previous example, if I stay up late, I will be tired the next day, can also be phrased as you will be tired the next day if you stay up late. So you can change the order, but which one is if is always the thing that happens first. So it could be the first part of the sentence or the second part of the sentence. Okay? So we are going to practice. What we're going to do is I will say the first part of a conditional sentence, and I want you to respond with what would happen.
Okay.
So, if I do all of my homework,
I can go to my friends.
okay, good. Now, you give me a condition. You say if something, and I will respond.
If I wake up early,
I will have more time to get work done. Okay? If I spend time with my friends,
I will have a better weekend.
good. Now you try.
If I clean my room,
Then my mom won't yell at me. If I... Well, here, let's reverse it. So now I'm going to start by saying the result of a situation, and then you say what led to that. So, I will learn if...
I read the chapter.
Good. Now you try.
I will be hungry if
I don't eat breakfast. I will never get lost if...
I follow the GPS.
Good. Hopefully. You try?
I will... No. Right.
Yeah, you're doing it right. Go ahead.
I will make more friends if... No.
If I can speak to them in their language. Okay, so we said I will a lot, but conditionals don't have to just be I will, right? So we could also say the cats are angry if...
We don't feed them.
Good. You try one that's not I will.
The door won't close if...
Something is in the way. Okay, so that's the first conditional, the real conditional. Now we're going to talk about the second conditional, which is also called the unreal. What do you think that means, the unreal conditional?
Won't actually happen?
Right. The unreal conditional describes something that doesn't happen. So, the unreal conditional describes a situation that didn't happen. And then we explain how things would be if it had happened. So, unreal conditionals are the opposite of real conditionals. Because real conditionals describe what?
If something happens.
If something happens, then
What
something else happens. And an unreal conditional describes if something had happened, this would have happened. And that's the structure of an unreal conditional. It is always if something had, then something would be or would have. So it's had and would are the important words that show it's a second conditional, an unreal conditional. Okay? But the had can be tricky because sometimes the had could be if I had a mouse, my computer works. But that's not an unreal conditional. Because that was our cats. Because that had is possessive. Okay? So not a possessive have to say something is yours, but a had that's past tense, talking about an alternative situation. So an example of that would be similar to our previous ones. If I had gone to bed early last night, I would not be tired. If I had gone to bed early, I would not be tired. And it doesn't have to be negative. It can say, if I had eaten healthier food, I would be healthier. So often a second conditional is describing a situation we would prefer. So what is something that you wish hadn't happened? Anything. Did anything bad happen today?
I spilled coffee on my shirt this morning.
So, you might say, if I hadn't spilled the coffee on my shirt, it wouldn't be stained.
Okay.
Good. So, we're going to move on to another exercise here, okay? Do you have any more questions about the second conditional?
No.
Here, we're going to do a grammar chant, okay?
Okay.
So that's going to be, I will say something and you repeat it. And we're
Okay.
going to do this to practice the structure, all right? So, if I had studied.
If I had studied.
If I had studied, I would have better grades.
If I had studied, I would have better grades.
Good. If
If
I learn English.
If I learn English.
If I learn English. Oh, that's actually a first conditional. That's okay though. We'll just do a first conditional. If I learn English.
If I learn English.
If I learn English, I will be able to speak to more people.
If I learn English, I will be able to speak to more people.
But that's actually a real conditional. Let me do an unreal again. If I had gotten my if I had learned to drive.
If I had learned to drive.
If I had learned to drive, I wouldn't spend money on Uber.
If I had learned to drive, I wouldn't spend money on Uber.
Good. So, do you understand the structure of a second conditional? Okay, so we're going to test that, and we're going to do a multiple choice quiz. So, I would give this quiz out. I would either give it out on paper if it was in person, or I would send them a link to a quiz I built online if it was an online. I'm going to read a quiz I've built, and she will pick one of the answers I read. We'll do a couple of these to demonstrate how it would have been. we won't necessarily do the full length of the quiz. We'll go for a little bit. So I'm going to say the first half, and then I'm going to say 3 options. And she has the writing in front of her, so me speaking is for you. I will give you a question and you pick from the options. It's multiple choice. If he studies a lot, he might pass the exam. He would pass the exam. He is going to pass the exam.
He is going to pass the exam.
Yes. Because a real conditional is what will happen. If he comes, we will go to lunch. We would go to lunch.
We will go to lunch.
Right. Because would is for the unreal conditional, right? And we're not talking about a different situation. We're talking about what happens. Good. If she misses the bus, I take her to school by car. I would take her to school by car. She have to walk.
I would take her to school by car.
Good. Nice job. If I had known you were in town, I would buy you some flowers. I would have bought you some flowers. I will buy you some flowers.
I would have bought you some flowers.
Good. Okay. Very good. So that's a couple of example questions. All right. Oh, I need to plug my computer in. Uh-oh. Okay. So, we're going to do one last activity. Okay? I'm going to give you a situation and ask you to create a real or unreal conditional about that situation. I'm not going to give you any help. I'm just going to give you the situation and you speak a sentence to me. I would also give students the option of writing this, but there's a video. She's going to speak it. Okay. Tell me a real conditional for eating dinner with your family.
If I eat dinner with my family, we will talk about my cousins.
Good. Give me an unreal conditional for having superpowers.
If I had superpowers, I would never need to walk.
Good. Very good. Give me a real conditional for if you need to sleep. Like right now, you seem tired.
If I need to sleep, I should go to bed.
Good. Give me an unreal conditional for owning an airplane.
If I owned an airplane.
Actually, yeah, go ahead.
If I owned an airplane, I would travel the world whenever I wanted.
Good. Give me a real conditional for learning to paint. A real conditional.
If I learn to paint, I can make presents for all of my friends.
Very good. Give me an unreal conditional for winning the lottery.
If I win the lottery, I could buy a house.
Good. Nice job. That's pretty much the whole lesson. Probably came in a little under 20 minutes because I would ask a few more questions. And they wouldn't speak English already. But yeah. Thanks.